Live from the Jersey Shore to the world. Get up, get out, do something. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. Take the show wherever you go. Download the free Radio Pup app for your smartphone or tablet. Join the conversation. 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Hey, welcome back. Wake up with Jeremy Grunin. It is 6:09, Monday, April 11th. 46 degrees, getting up to 61. Little drizzly out there. WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. News Talk Radio. Streaming live on the Radio Pup app and WOBMAM.com. 732-505-1160 if you want to join the conversation. And the conversation now turns to the Ocean County YMCA. We are here with the president and CEO of said organization, Peter Rosario. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Peter, just a quick note for you. When I have these massive noise-canceling, these are called noise-canceling headphones, what they do is they eliminate all noise from the outside. So as we're finishing up the intro piece where the red light's about to come on and you start talking to me, yeah, that's no idea what's happening there. I got to work on my whole lip-reading thing. It's a mess. So if you said something super important, we'll talk about it later, all right?
Absolutely.
Anyway, thanks for coming in bright and early this morning. So talk to us. We've kind of touched on the YMCA. You know, you had I think a bout of laryngitis our first time.
Yep.
And so Jonathan Petro, who was the immediate past president of the board, chairman of the board, came in and pinch hit, and he did a nice job. But you know, Peter, he wasn't you. So why don't you go ahead and give us kind of the overview? YMCA of Ocean County. What's going on over there?
Sure. Ocean County YMCA is the largest provider of aquatic programs, and it's also the largest provider of childcare. We're in every single grammar school, basically in Toms River and some of the surrounding districts. It's a great opportunity for our parents to have AM and PM care right at their local school. And then there's the traditional gym and swim programs that people think of when they think of a Y. Weights, Zumba classes, aqua exercise, swim lessons, and we have our marquee swim team, 323 kids. They just came back from nationals on Saturday. Just an awesome program for our young people and the parents to get involved and engaged at the Y.
So how did they do at the national?
I'm gonna find out when I get into the office this morning.
So you didn't get the recap, like email / text message, like here's a breakdown.
Gretchen might have to call in and let us know.
All right, no pressure on Gretchen there. All right, cool. So that's cool. So I think one of the things about the Y is I don't think people realize the outreach that the Y is involved in. I think when you talk about being in schools, I don't think that most people really understand what that means. So what does that program look like?
Sure, that's a great question.
Thank you. I can do this professionally.
Apparently you can. So I've heard.
Go ahead.
I think one of the things that it's really kind of every Y is a community's best kept secret, and this is one that is really a best kept secret in our community. 22 schools, 6:30 in the morning. Kids come in, eat snack, get to finish up their homework, participate in 2 different sets of activities. Healthy U, which is our the statewide anti-obesity curriculum, one of the first states to adopt a statewide curriculum for all its after-school programs, before-school programs. And depending on your tier in Toms River, you could be in there for 2 hours or 3 hours. So you got a picture. I don't know how a kid would go 3 hours before going into their first day of school. And then on the backside in the afternoon, it goes up to 6 o'clock in the evening. So same thing if you might be with us in the afternoon, almost 3.5 hours or 2.5 hours, depending on how your school day ends. Everybody gets to pick up right from their home school. I've been in Ys in different communities, and that's really an exception to the rule. Usually we have to consolidate, and people go to school in one school and get bused back and forth. The beauty here is that we're in every single school, and when you think about it, it's 22 schools, including Lakewood, Manchester, Berkeley. It's really a unique coverage that we have of all the schools and an opportunity for us to get the message out about health and wellness, youth development, and social responsibility.
That's so cool, and again, I think that's one of the most difficult things that I don't think most people realize. I think when they think of the Y, like we were joking about before, I think they think of it's a place to work out, right? It's a place to swim. And, there's some other like programs in the building. We could do our Zumba classes, but I don't think that they realize what, how large the outreach piece really is. So, Peter, how did you get involved with the Y? I mean, is this like is this like in your background? Have you done this before Ocean County?
I have started in New York City. I grew up. My Y story is real simple. I grew up in the heart of the South Bronx, and my Y was Yankee Stadium. It was the only place you could go that was safe and affordable growing up. So I always had this burning passion to be involved in youth work. And like for most people, it starts with your faith. So my church was an awesome place for me to get involved, and we had scouts, all sorts of different activities, youth group. And it really spurred an interest in me in trying to build community no matter where I've been. And it's nice to do something that you grew up wanting to do. And so the Y was kind of a natural extension of that. I started out with the Scouts and decided, well, I wanted to get involved in something that's concrete, bricks and mortar, a community center. And that's what the Y really means to me. It's all about giving families an opportunity to gather together and do things. There's very few things, especially nowadays. It's funny, I started this 25 years ago in the Scouts working in an after-school program, but 25 years later, more and more, how much time do we get to spend with our families, and how many places are there that we can do that and still engage? So that's
Right.
what I really think the essence of the Y is.
Now, let me ask you a question. When you did the whole Scouts thing, right? Was the popcorn thing, was that around?
Actually, yeah, it started. So if you want to picture the smell of your car when you're delivering popcorn,
Right.
the Girl Scouts definitely have the far better end of that.
Yeah,
deal.
well, so I was going to ask you. I mean, now that you're kind of on the outside looking in of the whole, the big debate. I mean, let's be honest. You could talk about, North Carolina's, transgender policy. You could talk about what we should do with immigration. You could talk about how we should handle ISIS and ISIL. These are all relatively small issues when we weigh in on popcorn versus cookies.
Yeah.
So now that you're on the outside looking in, where do you land? Who do you think has the stronger overall product?
Yeah, cookies. Definitely much,
Really,
much
really, you
better.
feel better about the cookies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even when I had to sell them. The popcorn, that is.
And I can tell you, when I go to Manhattan Bagel in the morning, there's like a 2-month run where I can't escape the Girl Scouts.
Yep.
But I never see the Boy Scouts like peddling popcorn. Do you, Zach?
No,
No,
not
right?
very often.
So they got to work on the program. We gotta get rolling on that. That's good. You have something else there, Zach?
We got to help out with that.
Yeah, we got to help out. We're gonna work on that. Peter Rosario, president and CEO of the YMCA. We're gonna learn more about what flavor Peter really likes of popcorn. No, we're going to talk more about some programs, some things happening at the YMCA of Ocean County. Also, Peter has a pretty big announcement to make relative to the overall operation of the Y. We're going to hear about all that and much more with Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin after this.
Get more Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin at our website, WOBMAM.com. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Now, back to Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310 and WOBMAM.com.
Welcome back, Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. We're here with, President and CEO of the Ocean County YMCA, Peter Rosario. So, Peter, what when I ask you, like, what program within the four walls of the YMCA you're most proud of, which is the one that you would point to and say that one really kicks Tushy?
You got tough questions early in the morning. So in the spirit of what you were saying earlier, I might have to alienate somebody at this point, but there's so many to choose from. But I got to tell you, right now, my personal favorite is what we do with our special populations. So we have partnerships with 14 agencies throughout the county to provide free memberships. They pay a nominal fee, and their members get to come in for free. And when you see special adults or special children and you watch them come off the bus, their staff could work with them. It could take them 10, 15 minutes to get into the building. They really need a program.
Right.
No other gym, no other facility, and they'll tell you no other facility wants to work with them. They
Right.
come in, and within 10, 15 minutes, they're on treadmills, they're on ellipticals, they're in classes, and they look like everyone else working out, smiling and having the best time. That's really my personal highlight because I sit right outside and watch them do their work, and they get to say hello every morning, and it just makes my day.
Right. So that's cool. So it's like you're running a gym, but you're giving back. I mean, that's like, it's so much, because I just ran gyms, right? The only thing we gave back was, we would give a free month of membership if you want some kind of, but that wasn't really giving back. You know what I mean? Okay. So talk about some of the changes you've made. How long have you been in position now at the Y? It feels like, what is it, like 7-8 years now?
Yeah, exactly. 7-8 years. That's exactly. Y years are like dog years.
Yeah,
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
So started June 29th. 15, so it's coming up on a year. I think the main thing we've been able to do is really get the building cleaned up, and people, every time someone comes in and says, I haven't been here in 10, 15 years, I've had people say, oh, is that new equipment? Nope, we just moved it around. We cleaned them, and we made things look better. I think we're really focused in on customer service, equivalent to a gym environment where you want to focus in on the details as far as how you greet members, tours. We added a 3-month membership category that's really taken off a lot, especially with all the issues going around with identity theft or people who just really have decided to become cash customers. It's really helped them to be able to try the Y without feeling like they're in a contract. Even though we have no contracts, the perception is you're taking out of my credit card every month. We infuse more curriculum into our after-school programs because one of the things, as you said, people don't really know about them.
Right.
But the other knock is for those who do, the perception is it's glorified babysitting. And right now, that's really not the case. And we actually just signed on to the after-school upgrade, which will include some STEM components and more academic components starting in September. And just generally new water fountains that actually are really cool. It's one of the highlights. People think every organization is different, but anytime you add new water fountains, that always brings a cool thing. They recycle water bottles, and everybody comes in, and Tara from your office comes in, or kids come in and say, hey, how many bottles of water have we saved this month? So those are all little big things, small things that we've done.
That's cool. One of the things that I used to do, one of my water fountain test, you always had to put the water, test every water fountain when you walk by to make sure the water was cold, because there's nothing more disappointing than when you're working out and go to the water fountain and it's like lukewarm water and you're like, oh my God, that's disgusting. Right? So that's awesome. Yeah. We have like 30 seconds, 45 seconds. So what is the hardest thing to combat every day at the YMCA? What is the bane of your existence in dealing with at the YMCA?
I just think it's perception.
Right.
I think it's really getting people to understand how they perceive themselves and how they perceive their health. That's probably, no matter whether it's a 3-year-old or a 90-year-old. I think that'd be the most difficult challenge we have for each one of our members.
Wow. All right. So when we come back after the break, Peter has a huge announcement to make about something that's going to be a game changer for the YMCA of Ocean County. I'm really excited about this. I can't wait to hear what it is. I have no idea. Peter Rosario, President, CEO of the YMCA. I thought he was going to say dirt, by the way. I hate dealing with dust and dirt, but what the heck do I know? Anyway, Peter Rosario, YMCA, back after this.
But
Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. Be right back.
The news never stops at WOBMAM.com. Get the latest from WOBM News, the Town Square, New Jersey News Network, and Fox News Radio. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Live from the Bob Levy Broadcast Center, overlooking the Toms River. It's time to get up, get out, do something. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. Be a part of the show. 732-505-1160. News Talk Radio, WOBM AM 1160 and 1310. Listen online at WOBMAM.com.
Welcome back. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin, 6:32, Monday, April 11th. 46 degrees, got up to 61 today. WOBM AM 1160, 1310. News Talk Radio, streaming live on the Radio Pup app and WOBMAM.com. Feel free to join the conversation, 732-505-1160. Peter Rosario, President, CEO, Ocean County YMCA. Peter, so you have some announcement? What's going on? Tell us.
Absolutely. So the Ocean County YMCA, thanks to the generosity of the Jay and Linda Grunin Foundation, has an opportunity to receive its largest gift in history, of $125,000 in the form of a challenge grant. So we have from now until June 30th to raise $125,000 from new donors of $1,000 and above.
Wow. So that's and so what is on? What are you planning? So you're going to raise the money, right? Because people are going to want to give to the YMCA. So what are you going to do with it? What's like on the wish list?
Sure. The beauty of it is it's really helping the Y in two ways. One, it's allowing us to raise the funds that we need directly for what we care about. When I talk about the special populations, when I talk about childcare and our swim programs. So the money we raise, we can focus our donors on doing those things. What the Jay and Linda Grunin Foundation are going to do is allow us to be able to do all of the behind-the-scenes organizational capacity building as far as capital projects, all these cool projects that need to get done that are long overdue at our Y. We can do that. So we get 3 wins out of it. Really, we're raising more dollars that we need. We're getting programmatic support, and we're taking care of longstanding issues that will make our members and ultimately make the community happier.
Wow, that's very exciting. And I guess actually in retrospect, I probably did know that was coming up, that you were going to announce that because, well, I kind of run the foundation. So I probably should have known that. But that's great. So let's give people, where could they go? Let's say they're inspired by you, Peter. I mean, let's really take the leap here. And
Sure.
Let's say that they've been inspired by the last 30 minutes of them spending time with you on the radio, and they want to go help out the Y in some way, mostly financially. How would they do that?
I think the best way to do it is to reach out and give me a call directly, 732-341-9622 at extension 2202. I'm a firm believer that all fundraising is personal. If you want to commit at that level, I'd like to sit down and chat with you, grab a cup of coffee, and talk to you some more about the great things that we're doing at the Y. If you want to do it more quietly, you could go on our website, ocymca.org, or you could send us an email at prosario@ocymca.org.
Nice. Okay, so a lot of different ways to give, and and if you haven't been to the YMCA of Ocean County in the last, however long, if you haven't been there, in the last year, right, and you were there at some point, okay, so we were joking a little bit about dirt and dust and whatever, and I'm not gonna lie. The first time I went to the YMCA when I got back to town about 3 years ago, I was like, ick, right? Like, it wasn't overly clean, right? So and that's a pet peeve of mine, having been somebody that's been in the health club business, like that, and anybody that goes to work out, like you want cleanliness, right? You want a club that you're not. That you're touching equipment the whole time. You want to feel good about that. You want to feel good about the locker rooms. You want to feel good that you are in it should be hospital clean, we used to say.
Yep.
Right? And I could tell you unequivocally that the difference in the last year is night and day. Night and day. And that's, I want to give you credit, Peter, but let's be honest, it's really the staff. They're doing
Absolutely.
a great job, right?
I just get in their way. It's
Right.
really all about the staff and the members and the expectations that they set. I think one of the beauties of my leadership philosophy is get the heck out of the way and let them do what they do best.
Right.
And when you give them that opportunity, it's clear and the proof is in the pudding. They're sick of that. They're probably gagging at it right now on the radio. But
Right. Because
it really is.
Because they're like, Peter doesn't get out of our way. They're
Yeah,
like
exactly.
he's in our So that, but we
more the proof in the pudding
Yeah,
part, because
yeah.
they hear that all the time.
Yeah.
But it's really just night and day difference, and everything we're doing. I'm so excited about where the Y is. The community deserves the Y that they're getting, and we're going to only get better. So I'm excited about
How
that.
many members you guys have right now?
10,780.
That's a lot. Now, so that's how many folks are served in Ocean County, right? Those people all don't use the gym every day, right?
Nope. So there's a mix of, so you average about 500 to 600 a day, and that's a mix of some of that is our aftercare programs. One of the things that I didn't mention earlier is we have 1,075 kids as of Friday in our care every day for 3 to 5 hours a day. But it's a good mix of those who come for swim lessons once in a while. But in a given year, we're going to serve 10,780 members.
Very cool. Okay. So here's the question. You got the magic wand, the pixie dust, the fairy dust, all those things. You have an opportunity to make an impact, right? And just by waving your wand, doing whatever you do, what is it you're going to do? What are you changing? What are you fixing? What are you doing?
At RY, I think it's really we're blessed to have a 19-acre campus, and some of it is dedicated to softball fields, but other than that, is really turning our campus into a campus of health, walking trails, obstacle courses, things that kids and families can use to really not only stay indoors, but also get outdoors. And I think we would also look to build a wellness center that really inspires and impacts people to health, all the while keeping our aquatics programs up and running and strong.
Very cool. Very cool. Okay. So we've learned a lot. Let's kind of recap. Let's recap what we've learned here today. First and foremost, we've learned, although popcorn is good,
cookies
right, overall,
are better.
Cookies are better. And we've also learned that putting a lot of popcorn in your car for delivery can leave a smell that may or may not come out with appropriate shampooing of car rugs, etc. Right? We learned that.
Yeah.
We also learned that the YMCA not only has fantastic programs inside the four walls of the YMCA, but also has fantastic programs outside of the walls.
I didn't realize you're such a good listener.
My listening skills.
You won't hear that too often on the show, probably. But
No. My listening skills are, yes, thank you so much. My wife, by the way, she would disagree with you that my listening skills are pretty much horrible. Okay, so we learned outside walls versus inside walls, very strong. We learned that you service over 10,000 Ocean County residents, and 500 to 600 of them come in the doors every day. We've learned that we have an opportunity to put an extra, I guess, $250,000
absolutely
into a capital campaign to make the YMCA even better than it already is. And I think above all else, Peter, we learned that you're a really swell guy, right? So why don't you tell people one more time how they can reach out, how they can get involved? And by the way, are there volunteer opportunities at the Y?
Absolutely.
Okay, so where would they learn all this? Where would this knowledge be stored? If only it could be stored somewhere for them to grab it, where would they go?
You can visit our website, ocymca.org. And again, feel free if you want to volunteer or do anything of that nature, you pick up the phone and give us a call, 732-341-9622. And the one thing I did want to make sure to mention is that today, part of the reason why we're making the public announcement this week, to date, we've raised $77,000 already. So we're well on our way to achieving that goal. And it's been a tremendous success. One thing I have to do before we end is our board first of all, it's an unbelievable board, but they've given $35,000 from their own pockets, and to date, they've given double what they've given in the last 3 years combined. So they really led by example, and that's the one thing a CEO for any organization can't ask for anything more than for its board to step up and lead by example. So I have to give them a big shout out and thank you for what they've done.
And I would echo that. And when we look at organizations that we want to support as a foundation, there are really three huge factors. Factor number one is potential impact on a community. And so when we look at the YMCA, that we could check that one off clearly. Yep. We look at the board and the engaged lay leadership in an organization, and you'd be hard pressed to find a much better board than the YMCA. By the way, my wife may be on the board, but this was before that, so even so,
she just made it better.
She's made it better. And number three, we look for leadership at the top, a CEO and a president that are going to really drive results, get things done, and bring an organization to its maximum potential. And Peter, we clearly have that at the Y of the Ocean County. Really, I blew that zinger at the Ocean County YMCA. Peter Rosario, thank you so much for spending some time with us this morning. Really do appreciate it.
Thank you very much. It was a lot of fun.
Keep up the great work, and we will schedule you again soon, and we'll make sure that we keep the laryngitis away. I'm sure that Shawn Michaels has some ways to keep laryngitis away in general. Wake Up with Jeremy Grunin. I'll be back right after this.